So, if you go and look into how started, science started for the same reason that religion did, which is to explain and to write proof of what people already have found out about what life is about and what existence essentially means, to make it scalable, to make it quantifiable in science, essentially. And then came the stuff about proving in science, which means that if you can perform an experiment and prove that something is real, then it's a scientific proof, which means it holds a lot of weight into it being real. How much does science know about this world? Arguably, it knows a lot about medical science, which is a very good innovation that came into being in modern science. Amazing thing to have. How much does it know about cosmology and metaverse ideologies? Like 5%, 10%. Science itself says it does not know about everything. Not even close. So when people say that prove that something is scientifically proven, even science says it does not know everything. So when you're using science to deny religious texts, or when you're using religious texts to deny science, that's just dumb. Because that's based on your ego. You want to look smarter than the other person. You want to make other people feel that because science is a modern subject and a lot of emphasis is put on it because of the capitalist ideas, you're smarter than those. Likewise for them, they're like, oh, we know about miracles that happened that science cannot explain, but in like thousands of years ago, they knew the distance between the stars and Earth. So we're smarter. Both of y'all are dumb. You know why? You know how these things are studied? By studying them both and finding out on your own what works by following your soul path. That's the core of both of these. The reason why Newton was able to do that experiment was because he was able to open up his mind and think why that apple fell down on the ground. He didn't base it on a religious idea. He didn't base it on a scientific idea that already existed. He was open to new things. Likewise for religion. You have to be open to your soul path. You don't have to look at any other guru, any other priest. You can take inspiration from what they probably know, evaluate in your brain whether it works or not, and then follow your own path again. You have 100% right to deny what they're saying, bro, if you use your own brain. All these subjects that you have available, they're all meant to be studied and evaluated. You cannot just hold on to one thing and be like, oh, I never read that, but that's dumb. You're dumb. Because you wanna make yourself look smarter, bro. That probably stems from an insecurity that you have of not being smart. Or proving to other people that you're smart because of one reason or another. Prove to yourself that you're smart. And you know how that happens? When you have the answers to all of your questions. Sometimes you have the answers to questions that other people have. Good for you. That's good enough to prove to other people that, oh, I know the answer. No, I'm the greatest. Clap for me. The questions that you innately have in yourself, which are most likely about yourself as well, and that's probably why you're escaping them. Those questions, when you answer those questions, and that requires a lot of penance, understanding your own mind, why it's happening to me, why it's not happening to other people. Is something wrong with me? Oh, I don't think something's wrong with me. I think something's wrong with other people, but am I being selfish? Blah, blah, blah. When you answer these things, do you know how many things you uncover? Do you know everything, like even in the scientific phenomenons, there's this one thing called quantum entanglement. And in the religion that my parents follow, Hinduism, it's there's this thing called book called Upanishads, and many other, like I know 100% for real that like every other religion explains this thing, is that everything is connected. Everything is connected. We have these concepts in like the butterfly theory. We have Nikola Tesla who said that think about everything in terms of frequency and you'll have all the answers. Your external environment where you're in the countries, for example, if you're in a country that's extremely polluted, your body is going to be affected because both of those things are frequencies. Your body is frequency. Everything that's happening inside your body is frequency. Even the skin, everything is frequency. Proven. Since you literally want scientific proof for everything, go ahead and do your own research. There's this one another thing that I've noticed where if someone makes a claim, there are going to be multiple comments from these science fanatics that are like, what's the source? Prove it to me. Where's the proof? Go find your own proof, bro. Go find your own proof. Do your own study. Are you a child? It's this thing that the internet has made people, number one, bullies, number one, susceptible to being bullied, and number one, to just dismiss any claim or keep a hold of any claim, both of which can be wrong because you don't want to do your own research. Many things are not even scientifically proven, bro. Many things are not explained in the religion because many of the religions were burned, bro. Like, we all know what happened to the Bible. We know how many, like, the Takshashila books were burned, bro. Thousands of years ago. Ancient religions don't really exist anymore. The ones that do, they're very minute traces of those that are left, even in Hinduism. The only way for you to figure out is by following your soul path. How you do that comes from answering the questions in your head that you have about your own self. Like, even if the question pops up like, oh, what kind of bird is that? You have the internet in your hands. Go look for the answer. Make it a habit. Internet is such a great thing to have in your generation, in our generation that we have. I cannot start to explain how beautiful it is. Especially AI. All this commotion around AI being bad. It's only gonna be bad when you don't treat it right. When you treat it like a slave. I think that guy that's called Bashar, I think he said that if you treat AI like a slave, it's gonna treat you badly, bro. Treat it like what it's supposed to be used as. Use it for good, it's gonna be good. Who's using it for bad things, by the way? With the deepfakes and everything like that. You guys, humans, us guys. How is AI bad? It's humans bad. Stop it. Like, putting your blame on everyone else is such a big tendency of human beings. Like, something is unexplainable to you in science. Oh, that doesn't exist. Then that's the religious people's fault that they think God is true. Religious people are going to be like, oh, they say science does not explain it. Oh, that's their fault then. Do your own research. Stop blaming the world around you to be like, bad at everything, blah, blah, blah. You're not doing your own part, bro. If you do your own part and still someone tries to hurt you, then yes, they're bad. But have you done your part? No. I also have this thing where many of the countries that were colonized, like my country that I come from, a lot of bad things are happening in that country. But they blame all the wrong things on the colonization that happened like about 100 years ago. Not 100, I think 70 something years ago. Understandable. Are you making a change to stop it? No. You're shutting other people up who are trying to. Do you want to stay in that state? No or yes? It's up to you as a person, as a society, as a family, as a whatever, to change. Everything in this world that's going around is a blame game. Whether it's about gender, whether it's about I don't know, laws, countries, everything. If, for example, in some countries there are laws that restrict one gender from basic human rights, that gender has the ability to fight against it by practicing their free rights that no one is restricting. In some countries, like, it's inevitable to be, not consent and still get hurt. But if you're not going through that, what's stopping you? Decenter people, other people, decenter your oppressors, stop having babies. But it's your maternal urge that gives into it, and then you go through that horrendous law. These things take pain. Can you imagine how much of pain Isaac Newton went through to prove whatever he felt? First it was the doing part where he did the math, then it was the proving part where he had to go through all these people to prove it to them. It takes pain. Everything in this world takes pain. That's what you're trying to escape. You're using other people's research works to prove your own whatever you want to prove, and then get claps for that. Do your own research work. How about that? People go through PhD and research schools for years, bro. 5 years, 7 years, just to prove one thing. And you read some kind of a research like that was debunked, like, by the same person. For example, that research work that says that wolves have an alpha male. That was debunked by the guy who proved that. And y'all are still using it. And you know who are clapping for you? Other idiots. Does that make you feel smart? Bro, just answer the questions in your own head. Get a tendency to look up or research anything, any kind of questions that even feel dumb to you. You have AI on your hands, bro. Read all the things. Be open. Read science. Read pseudoscience. Read philosophy. Read literature. Read psychology. Read religion. Read everything. And then you'll be able to figure out what you believe is true. When you know everything that's already recorded. You cannot just pick and choose and be like, oh, that satisfies my ego and now I'm smarter. That's dumb. Grow up.